One of the clearest signs that a woman isn't interested in you is how hard it is to reach her. When someone genuinely wants to talk to you, they don't delay responses for hours or days. They don't give you one-word answers or hit you back with dry energy that makes you feel like you're forcing a conversation. Instead, they make space for you. They lean in. They respond because they want to, not because they feel obligated. But when a woman starts giving you long response times, always has an excuse, or never initiates the conversation herself, you're not being valued or being tolerated. You might hear things like, "I've just been so busy," or "I didn't see your message." And while it's true that life gets hectic, we always make time for what excites us. When she's into you, your name on her phone gives her a rush. When she's not, it feels like a chore. That's the brutal difference. A woman who wants to connect will check in, keep a conversation going, and let you know she's thinking about you. But if every interaction feels like you're chasing her down, like you're an unwanted guest in her inbox, that's your cue to stop reaching. Real connection doesn't leave you anxious. It doesn't have you rereading your messages wondering if you said something wrong. It feels mutual, effortless, and full of presence. If you constantly feel like you're intruding or being met with lukewarm replies, that's not love, that's low interest. And it's not your job to convince someone to be excited about you. Your role as a man is to lead, not to beg. So if she's showing signs of emotional or communicative distance, believe them. Her energy is telling you everything you need to know. Pull back your attention, let your silence speak. If she's interested, she'll notice your absence and step forward. If she doesn't, then you have your answer. Stop chasing what's unavailable and start focusing on what's reciprocal. The longer you stay in a one-sided pursuit, the more you delay a connection that's actually meant for you. Respect your time, protect your energy, and never let someone treat your presence like it's optional. Because when a woman truly wants you in her life, you won't have to question it. When a woman is genuinely interested in you, she'll want to see you, simple as that. She'll either make time or find a way to reschedule if something comes up. But when she constantly avoids committing to plans or gives vague responses like, "Maybe, I'll let you know," that's not subtle, that's avoidance. If you find yourself always being the one to initiate hangouts, always trying to set something concrete while she floats in a gray zone of uncertainty, that's your warning sign. She's not prioritizing you. She's keeping you on standby, just in case something else doesn't work out. The truth is, women show interest with effort. Even the busiest ones find a way to lock in time with someone they're genuinely excited about. If she wanted to see you, she wouldn't leave you hanging. She wouldn't be dancing around a simple yes or no. A woman who's truly into you won't hesitate to make time because she values your presence. But if you're stuck in a pattern where she keeps the door half open without ever stepping through it, she's not undecided, she's just not invested. Might start to feel like you're chasing something that doesn't really exist, always hoping this time she'll say yes or follow through. But here's the truth, you shouldn't have to convince someone to want to see you. Connection isn't supposed to feel like a negotiation. It's supposed to feel like alignment. When she's not committing to plans, she's signaling that her time isn't for you, and you deserve someone who chooses you, not someone who leaves you in limbo. So instead of overnizing her, maybe next time, take a step back. Let your absence highlight her indifference. If she truly cares, she'll notice you're no longer chasing, and she'll take the lead. If she doesn't, good. You've just avoided a deeper emotional investment into someone who was never ready to invest back. When someone is genuinely interested in building a connection with you, conversations naturally deepen. They move beyond surface-level topics, like the weather or what you ate for lunch. Real interest shows itself in curiosity. She asks about your dreams, your fears, your past, and your passions. She remembers small details you mentioned days ago and bring them up again. But if you find yourself in conversations that constantly stay shallow, where you're always the one asking questions, initiating discussions, and receiving dry, one-word responses, it's a sign she's emotionally disconnected or simply not interested in going deeper with you. You might start to feel like you're talking to a wall, trying to force chemistry that just isn't there. And what makes it worse is the inconsistency. Maybe she's friendly enough, maybe she responds, but there's no real exchange happening. She's not investing emotionally, and she's definitely not showing signs of wanting to truly know you. That's not a connection, it's courtesy at best, and boredom at worst. This is where many men get stuck. They mistake politeness for interest. They think, well, at least she's still replying. But just because someone is responding, doesn't mean they're connecting. There's a big difference between being available and being engaged. If she never asks follow-up questions, never dives into deeper topics, or shifts the conversation back to herself constantly, it's time to recognize that the interest just isn't mutual. You deserve more than surface-level exchanges. You deserve a connection that feels alive, one where both people are emotionally invested and curious about each other's inner worlds. If she's keeping things light and distant, let that be your clue. You shouldn't have to beg someone to be interested in who you are. The right woman will want to know your story, not just respond to your texts out of habit. When the emotional energy isn't being returned, pull back, protect your effort. Don't waste your depth on someone who only wants the surface, physical, Closeness is one of the most natural ways attraction reveals itself, especially in the early stages of a connection. A woman who's into you will usually find subtle, playful ways to be near you, whether it's brushing your arm, sitting a little closer than necessary, or laughing while lightly touching your shoulder. These small gestures aren't random. They're signals that she feels a level of comfort, trust, and attraction. But if you notice that she avoids these opportunities for physical closeness, stays rigid when you're nearby, or seems uncomfortable with even casual touches, that's her energy pulling back. This lack of physical or flirtatious behavior often means that she doesn't feel the spark. You might be thinking, maybe she's just shy, and while that can be true in some cases, there's still a difference between shyness and resistance. Even shy women who are interested will find nonverbal ways to show it: lingering eye contact, open body language, or simply allowing proximity. If you notice that every time you lean in, she leans out, or that she never initiates any kind of touch or playfulness, it's time to recognize that the chemistry may not be mutual. Respect is key here. You never force anything, but awareness is just as important. When a woman keeps her distance consistently, physically and energetically, she's sending a message. That message may not be loud, but it's clear. She doesn't see you in a romantic or intimate way, and rather than trying harder, the right move is to observe, accept, and redirect your energy. You deserve someone who wants to be close to you, who enjoys your presence, not endures it. If her body language consistently says no, believe it. Physical distance often mirrors emotional distance, and attraction without closeness is just friendship in disguise. When a woman openly talks about other men she's interested in, it's rarely accidental. It's one of the most straightforward ways she signals that she doesn't see you as a romantic option. If she's bringing up a guy she's crushing on, mentioning her latest date, or casually talking about how attractive someone else is, she's creating emotional space, putting you firmly in the just a friend category. Whether she realizes it or not, this kind of conversation is a filter. She's showing you where you stand without having to say it directly. A woman who's into you romantically won't talk about other men she's attracted to. Why? Because she's focused on you. She's trying to deepen the connection, not introduce competition. If she constantly brings up other guys, it's a form of distancing. She might even be hoping you take the hint without her having to reject you outright. And if you ignore the signs, thinking it's just harmless talk, you risk misreading the situation and investing more into someone who's already emotionally elsewhere. It's important not to take this personally. Her talking about other men isn't necessarily meant to hurt you. It's just her way of expressing that her interest lies elsewhere. The key is how you respond. If you keep chasing, hoping she'll change her mind, you only lower your own value. Instead, acknowledge what her words reveal. If she's openly speaking about other romantic interests, don't try to compete, simply step back. You're not meant to fight for someone's attention. Real interest doesn't require convincing. The right woman will naturally focus her energy on you, not on highlighting other men. So if she's talking about someone else, let her, and then walk confidently. Someone who actually wants to talk about you